Yeah, one of the things I was curious about is that first time winning the Calgary Stampede. That had to like that's winning a home game, right, bro? Like, I got to think that was one that was always like towards the top of the bucket list.
Yeah, that's like winning the Super Bowl in your home stadium.
Yep.
That's big, that's the biggest rodeo in the world outside of the NFR. Actually the first time I won it was my rookie year, and I got invited. It was an invitation back then, and I was invited because I won Houston that year, off of an invitation. The whole thing was kind of just a fluke, but it all just kind of snowballed and kept rolling. And I went to Calgary that year, and I actually did terrible on my first horse. Like, just made a bad ride. Horse was bad, and I was kind of like, man, I don't know if I really belong here with, you're riding with your heroes and the guys that I watched growing up
Yep.
and stuff and really looked up to. And I was like, I don't know if I really can hang with these guys. And then, it's a long road. You get on 5 or 6 horses throughout the whole thing. And, by the end of it, I won it, and I was like, that's pretty wild. And then I won it 2 more times, the following 2 years. I won it 15 and then 16 and 17. And so went 3 times back to back. And, that was pretty wild.
Yeah, that one is on my bucket list just to come up and attend.
Oh, you got to. That's a good rodeo.
Yeah,
It's fun.
I've always heard so many great things about it, and I'm going to end up making it happen one day sooner than later because I hear it's a hell of a good time.
Absolutely. Hit me up. I'll get you hooked up.
Hey, I appreciate it. I'll take you up on that. One other thing I wanted to go back to, one of the things in kind of preparing for this conversation was, I ran across as either a caption or a quote where, you were talking about at 14 years old, your dad came home with a saddle, and from that point you just fell in love and were hooked. Did you feel any pressure because of who your dad was to kind of follow in those footsteps, or was this, dude, I got a passion for this too. I'm just going to go do it.
Yeah, I didn't really feel any pressure, my dad, he's the nicest guy in the world, but like when it comes to that, he's he wants you to do good and put forth your best effort, obviously, so he wasn't really like he's not the kind of like participation type dad, like you gotta go earn it and do and put the work in, and he installed that into us from a very young age, with everything in life. And so really, I had a great teacher and a great coach at home. I think they knew I was going to do it. There was no way they're going to keep me from doing it. So I think they were just like, well, let's help them the best we can. Because
I love it. And then in high school, you did a little bit of bull riding too, right?
Yeah, I actually thought I was going to be a bull rider when I was like, pretty young, real young in high school and stuff. And
yeah.
So in Canada, you can ride junior steers at the pro rodeos and the pro level, and so I had quite a bit of success in that, and that's kind of just a stepping stone below, riding actual bulls and stuff. And so
Yeah.
once you kind of phase out of that, and then we started getting on junior bulls and getting on some bucking bulls and stuff, and it just come pretty naturally to me. It's all balance and stuff. Where
Sure.
the bronc riding is there's a lot of moving parts in the bronc riding, and the learning curve is very slow, and it takes a while to kind of, not that you ever have it figured out, but to, air quote, get it figured out. And
Sure.
it's, so it's a slower process. So the bull riding just kind of come natural. And so I kind of gravitated to that, at the start. But as I got older and a little stronger and stuff, and the bronc riding kind of started to come on, I was like, this is definitely what I'm going to do. And I'm going to do it the best I can. So.
Yeah. Would you say the longevity of a saddle bronc rider is longer than a bull rider? I mean, I know you guys still take some nasty ass spills too. I'm not trying to marginalize it, but or is it about the same?
No, the bronc rider, you can ride broncs way longer than you can ride bulls.
Okay, that's what I figured.
Yeah, like the turnover on the bull riders, like since I've been going, it's like you've got your, groups of guys that have good, 10-year careers, some even longer. But for the majority of the bull riders, like it seems like every 4 years there's a turnover and almost a whole new set,
Yeah.
It's and like the bull riders, obviously they ride longer than 4 years, but it just seems kind of like every few years there's, new bull riders are around, and the old ones are kind of have gone somewhere else and moved on. But yeah, it's the bronc riders. I mean, there's lots of bronc riders that have rode, you know, it's nothing to ride for 15, 20, 20 years. There's lots of guys that have rode for 20 years.
Guys, thanks so much for watching the clips. If you would like, please subscribe. Also, if you'd like more clips like this, click here. Or if you'd like to enjoy this whole episode, click here.